Hey, Suki, you know my brother was about this age. Alexa, stop. When I saw him go on stage at his high school and sing in a band called The Images, and all the little girls in his class at the high school started screaming and they lost their minds. And I thought, what? That's just my brother. So he was a hot number. All right. But it's also probably, I don't know, maybe soon after that he began to develop schizophrenia. And the thing about schizophrenia is it's hard to identify because I'm sure, my family saw it and thought it was just teenage angst, and it wasn't a real problem. He became a young adult, and schizophrenia, unfortunately, shows up in people who are young adults. So you figure by that time, young people have moved away from home. In some cases, like that of my brother, had gotten married, had had a baby. Everything seemed okay. But unlike the rest of my siblings, he had decided not to go to college. Okay, so you figure that's just what happens with some people. Everybody's different. But as it turned out, his differences developed and we identified as schizophrenia. And it took years to come up with that thought. And I had siblings that were in the medical profession and they still never considered schizophrenia. But you know what? I think maybe if it's not been in your family history, you tend not to think it. You think lazy, you think scattered, you think different, different choices, and you kind of let it go. But in our family, I started to say community, but I'm going to keep it closer than that. In our family, we don't have a lot of history. My grandmother was murdered, and my grandfather disappeared. I think that was, never mind, that's a different video. But the point is, we did not have history in a lot of places that might have shown mental illness. So when it showed up in my brother, we thought it was everything else. So that's how schizophrenia showed itself in my family. And okay, so it developed in my brother, and there was a lot to be learned. Like, I thought schizophrenia meant crazy, violent people on the street, hair growing crazy, but what I learned was my brother was never violent, and he did not become violent because he developed schizophrenia. He did, however, become homeless. He did, however, become unable to live in the way that he had lived. He did, however, grow his hair, because when you're homeless, you don't get haircuts every 2 weeks. And he disappeared in that underground world of homelessness. So, mental illness is, in my family, a real thing. And I ask you to, and I don't ask you to anything, I'm just sharing that with you. And I'm gonna eat, and I gotta go.